All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about something that, believe it or not, kind of runs the entire modern world. It helps us figure out everything from what shows up in our feeds to, life-saving science. We are talking about statistics.
But let's start with a feeling I bet we all share. We are just surrounded by information, right? It's this non-stop flood coming at us from all sides all day long. I mean, seriously, you see it in the news, on social media, in your work emails. It can feel totally overwhelming, like you're just trying to keep your head above water in this giant ocean of numbers. And look, if you feel that way, you are definitely not alone. It's pretty much the modern condition. But what if I told you there's a tool, a skill, specifically designed to help us navigate these exact waters?
Well, that tool, that life raft in this crazy sea of data is statistics. And no, this isn't about some scary, complicated math class you had to take. It's really about getting clarity. It's about finding the actual signal in all of that noise.
So what is it really? The official definition says it's the science of data. But think of it like this. It's a process for taking a whole bunch of raw, messy information and turning it into something that actually makes sense, something we can really use. And I love how this breaks it down because it shows you that statistics is an action. It's something you do. You go out and collect the numbers, you organize them so they're not a total mess, you analyze them for patterns, you try to interpret what those patterns actually mean, and then finally, you present what you found in a way that people can understand.
And this right here, this is the whole point. It's all about transformation. It's about taking a jumble of numbers that means absolutely nothing on its own and turning it into real, useful knowledge. So, why should we care? Well, because without this, we're pretty much just guessing our way through life. Statistics lets us spot real patterns, it helps us predict what might be coming around the corner, and it lets us make decisions based on actual evidence, not just a gut feeling. It's how we deal with uncertainty.
Okay, I know that can still feel a little bit abstract. So let's get concrete. Let's look at how statistics is showing up in your world, probably in ways you don't even notice.
Okay, think about the last app you used. That button you clicked, the placement, the color, the text, none of that was an accident. Tech companies are constantly running statistical tests, showing slightly different versions to different users to see what works best. They are literally using stats to shape your experience.
And in the business world? Oh, it's everything. A clothing store doesn't just guess what styles will be popular next season. They analyze massive amounts of sales data. Statistics tells them, hey, everyone's buying this jacket, so they can make more, and nobody's touching that shirt, so they can stop. It's all about making smart bets.
Now, for data science, statistics isn't just a tool, it's the absolute bedrock. It's the reason your phone company might suddenly send you a text with a special offer. A statistical model probably flagged you as someone who might be thinking about leaving, and that text, that's the model in action.
And maybe the most important place we see it is in scientific research. How do we know a new medicine actually works? Well, researchers use incredibly rigorous statistical methods. It's how they prove that the good results they're seeing are because of the drug, and not just some random coincidence. It's the gold standard for truth.
Okay, so we know what it is and where it's used. Now let's get into the two main flavors of statistics. And honestly, the best way to get this is with a super simple analogy. Think of it as the photo versus the forecast.
This is such a great way to think about it. One type of statistics gives you a perfectly clear snapshot of the data you have in front of you. That's your photo. The other type uses that snapshot to make a really good guess about what might happen next or what's true for a much bigger group. That's your forecast. So let's start with the photo. That's descriptive statistics. This is all about making your data easy to digest. Simple as that. So if you calculate the average grade for every student in one specific classroom, you are describing that class. You're just stating the facts you have. No guessing, no predicting.
Now for the forecast. This is where it gets really powerful. This is inferential statistics. It's where you take a small, manageable piece of data, like polling, say 1,000 voters, and you use their answers to infer or predict what the entire country might do in an election. You're using a small piece to understand the whole puzzle.
And this table just nails the difference, right? Descriptive stats is all about describing what you know for sure in the data you have. Inferential stats is about using a small sample to predict something bigger, and that always comes with a bit of uncertainty. You have to use probability. So really, one is about what is, and the other is about what could be.
So once you start to get these tools, you're not just learning math.
You're really gaining a whole new lens to see the world through, a way to find some real clarity in all the chaos and complexity out there.
So if you're going to walk away with 3 things, let it be these. 1. Statistics is the engine that turns messy data into actual insight. 2. Descriptive statistics is the photo. It tells you exactly what the data shows. And 3. Inferential statistics is the forecast. It tells you what the data suggests about the bigger picture.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Now you know the basic tools for asking and answering questions with data, the photo and the forecast. So the only thing left is, what's the first question you'd want to ask?